So, let's get into Santino Marella, the new United States champion. You know something? I may have said this on one of my shows where I said that I mentioned you had Zack Ryder as the United States champion. It's all cool. You had Jack Swagger who becomes U.S. champion. He's a great wrestler, but the thing is that's wrong with Jack Swagger is he's boring. A piece of paper is more entertaining than his ass. I swear to God. And what's even worse, he's with Vicky Guerrero. So that makes it, 10 times worse. But I said that if you get somebody that wins the United States Championship, you got to get someone that's, that's not only a great wrestler, but can be entertaining and make it interesting. Make the U.S. Championship title interesting again, because that championship has been held by many great athletes, from Bret Hart to Stone Cold to Lex Luger. You can name a list of them. And, to me, I think when Dolph Ziggler had the championship, I think he made it interesting. Because not only was he talented enough, he also made the United States Championship interesting. It was good. But up until Jack Swagger wins it, it's like, yeah, you don't say. But Santino becoming U.S. champion, he's a great sports entertainer. He's not exactly the best wrestler on the planet, but he's definitely funny to watch. But as long as he keeps it entertaining and as long as he keeps the title around him, that's fine. But nonetheless, Santino, congratulations to him for being United States champion. Jack Swagger may get another opportunity at it. I just hope it doesn't happen at all. We need to keep that title away from him. Now, let me get into this one last little segment that I want to talk about. And you know it, and I know it. It's been talked about, and we got to talk about it now. We're talking about the whole thing with The Rock and John Cena on Monday Night Raw. Do you remember? You guys saw, the whole thing with The Rock in Boston, and, he does his whole deal. Blah, 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 blah. The one, I was interested to watching this one because I wasn't sure exactly what The Rock was going to do. So, he goes ahead. You guys probably remember, but just to give you a little idea, let me get it out. The fact that The Rock goes ahead and is at the Harbor Bridge, full of John Cena stuff. Everything from his shirts, his sweaters, the midget shorts that showed up and so forth. Then I saw a garden of John Cena. Really. Old man, beard, and everything else like that. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then John Cena cologne. Oh my God. You know what? and this is the truth. I love cologne. I like wearing it. But the WWE, they had their little attitude cologne a long time ago. That didn't exactly work out, right? And then Monday Nitro. Remember when WCW Monday Nitro actually came up with their own cologne? What kind of shit is that? Give me a damn break. Like, anyone would buy this fucking garbage. And John Cena's cologne, I hope that doesn't really exist. But if that does, it'll probably be a money-making deal for, what, a day? And then that's it. It's not going to work. But nonetheless, it was funny. He threw all this stuff out just to say we've had it, gave out his rock history lesson, then goes ahead and heads over to the statue of Paul Revere. You saw that one, right? Now, did you notice that The Rock made a mistake there? Yeah, The Rock made a mistake during that little segment because he was singing that there's an old Yankee Doodle song, Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, like that. Well, he did the same thing, but he made it for John Cena. But there was a mistake there. If you remember what he said, this is exactly what he said. And I'm going to give it to you. But this is the correct way to say it. Watch this. Johnny Cena went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his ass and called him a jabroni. And right now everyone's laughing at that right now as we speak. But that's the way it was supposed to sound. If you hear Rock's version, you hear my version, it's the same thing, but you'll notice the mistake. You'll see how it goes, trust me. Now, the one part that I wanted to get to the most was the end, where The Rock came out, confronted John Cena. John Cena was already waiting for him in his hometown of Boston and everything. Now, here's the thing I find funny. Last week, John Cena punked out The Rock. And he did. Let's be honest. And let's be honest, the fact that John Cena shook him up. Shook up The Rock. Then, when The Rock tried to do the same thing, John Cena just looked at him like, yeah, really? Really? Yeah. That kind of showed me, oh, damn. John Cena, as far as I'm concerned, is not going to be intimidated by what The Rock says. And let's be honest, The Rock is shook up. He's shook up at the fact that John Cena was right there. Yeah, you can tell him that he's 6'4", 500 and whatever pounds, and will beat the living hell out of him at WrestleMania. But the thing is, The Rock has not been the same at all. Yes, he is the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. Yes, he is funny in the ring. Yes, he's good on the mic. But the thing is, what has he done? He hasn't done anything yet. He's been out there. He's entertained. He's done all he could. But yet he hasn't done a single thing. But yet John Cena punks him out like a little bitch. And I find funny that Rock called him a little boy. But yet he punked him out not once, but twice. Some people may think, oh, Furman, you're just kissing John Cena's ass. I'm looking at what I see. I'm looking at what I see. I'm not against The Rock. I'm not against John Cena. What I'm seeing is simple. Rock comes out, try to do exactly the same thing that Cena did, but except in the end, did you notice that when he said what he said, he left? He didn't go out and he didn't go and say, if you smell, and he didn't do any of those things. He didn't. Because he was shook up. He was shook up in the whole way. He may have went ahead and said, finally, The Rock has come back to Boston. But even then,